what you are getting, the way she used to do, lying there, everything. Now she does that.
Hello guys and welcome to EpicTubeMoments. You have your brother here, my name is Fred. And today we're going to go straight into something very serious, okay? So like I told you in my last video, I actually said EpicTube is one of your to-go stations and to-go handles on YouTube where you would actually want to get in the best content. So what we're doing here on EpicTube is to actually make sense. Bring out and churn out videos that will actually make sense to a lot of you. And most especially for us in the UK, we actually want to look for ways to advise ourselves on a lot of issues. And also we have our friends and brothers back home who want to actually listen to what we're doing and understand that this is a channel that actually brings out content and makes a lot of sense. So I have my sister in the house here. She is a mother. She is also married. And she is one of my friends in the UK. I've actually done a lot in terms of trying to strive to do best for herself and her family. She's someone I actually look up to in terms of trying to work hard and see how we can actually emulate good persons like her. And we also urge women to actually learn, live a life that shows a strong level of trying to fend for your family and actually do right to you. We have a great MC, a great compare, like if you actually want to have events and all that, you can actually get invite her to come and have all the program. I have here Miss OMOLARA, Mrs. OMOLARA. Madam, welcome. It's been hard trying to get you here.
Thank you so much.
It's been very hard. So I want you to actually discuss with the viewers here and people who have actually subscribed to watching EpicTube. So what we want to start today is to just introduce yourself, and I've actually done that. But what is it that we don't know about you today?
Well, thank you, Fred. It's really a pleasure coming on set with you, and I'm really excited, that I managed to bring myself down. Right, so it's just me, Molara Sheweje. Some people know me as Augustina. Some people know me as Omolara Augustina Sheweje, aka Ulori Sheweje MC Extraordinaire. I'm a compare. I am an experienced compare. I'm quite versatile with my skills when it comes to the speaking skills. I've hosted weddings, traditional weddings, corporate events, wedding receptions, book launches, talk about an event, birthdays. God, I beg. We're trying.
That's actually epic. Like what I actually tell people in the UK is there's a lot you can do in the UK.
Sure.
That you can actually make people understand that this is what you want to dive in, this is a career path you want to take, and this is how you can actually make yourself look much more useful in the UK. Yeah. And I won't lie, I actually like the way you've actually been taking yourself and doing a lot of things. And that was why I had to invite you today so we can go through this together. And I want to tell you viewers at home that today's topic is going to be a very big one because there's a lot of things there are a lot of things going on in the UK that people need to know. And one of these is actually marriages crashing every day. We understand that it's not easy to keep a marriage. It's not easy to actually be in, a very committed marriage like we get to see a lot of people have. And that's why we just want to discuss about it. So the topic today is very simple but very complex at the same time. The topic today is why are marriages crashing in the UK? The true reasons why marriages are crashing. And there's no any other person best for me to have actually gone to get so we can discuss this than OMOLARA. And she's here to give us some of those reasons. So we are not going to be biased. The men, you guys have your own issues. And ladies, you also have your own issues. We want to know. We get to see on all social media platforms, people who are in the UK, why are marriages crashing? Husbands actually have this as one of their side problems and all that. And women also have theirs. We want to know today. And you sitting at home, you will just be wondering, what do these people have to say that you don't know? Let us just dig it out and just let you guys know. For me, I would want to say that marriage is actually a good thing. So we were back home in Nigeria, and when we came back, we came to the UK. We were expecting the UK actually to be a very good playing ground where you can actually, continue in your, marital bliss and all of that. But the UK actually changes a lot of things in families, and you get to see some characters that come out of people you thought were just very different persons that you actually call either your husband or your wife. And now we get to see different attributes. So we want to know, Madam, I know this is a very complex discussion,
Okay.
and you wouldn't be wrong,
Yep.
and also I wouldn't say you would be right on every of those things, because we have people who will be listening, and some would say, I don't think that's actually a very majority. But I would want to let's take it gradually and understand, what would you say is a starting point where some of these problems start? That women are having issues with their husbands, and husbands are also terribly having issues with their wives.
Well, to be honest, this is a really deep topic, and disclaimer, I'm not, I don't know everything.
Yeah.
But with the little experience I have, and my own kind of reflection on the situation, that's what I'm going to base my analysis on. So I don't know everything. I'm not going to be able to, reach every corner, every aspect of this, but I'm going to do my best talking about it.
Yeah.
So one thing I feel, there's a lot of things that contribute to this situation. The reason why marriages break when people get here, there's a whole lot, and we're going to take it one by one.
Okay.
Right. So one, lack of sufficient patience, because you see,
the men don't have patience, or the women
both
don't have
parties actually. Both parties.
If you want to give like a percentage of lack of patience, would you say more to the men, or women have less?
Yeah, it's more on the side of the men, to be honest, because even right from where we're coming from, a lot of men don't really have patience. It's the women that drive the marriage generally. Generally, it's the women that usually drive the marriage, especially when there are children involved, because the woman does not want the children to become, fatherless and all that, right from back home. And then, that mentality still sticks with the women. However, getting here, there's a lot of culture shock that meets everybody, in the eye.
Yeah.
And it's like we're starting our lives all over. We must be very sincere with one another. One, we coming here, most people came as landlords to return as tenants.
Yeah.
When you get here, that alone makes you lose a lot of patience, because you used to have your house, you've already built it, and then you just live your life, and then all you just need to get is just food and the other things. You're not thinking about rent. But coming from Nigeria to this place, you can't buy a house immediately. It's not possible. And there's a lot of that. So you're going to return to that tenancy level. And then, the tenancy here is monthly, unlike where we're coming from, where it's annually. So once you have paid once in the year, you're at peace until the next year. That's 12 months grace. But here is just monthly, and you've got to keep funding that aspect.
So
that alone.
If I want to chip in here, the patience. And you direct the patience to something very significant.
We're getting there.
Is it that men do not have patience in what area, or women do not have patience in what area? So we can actually understand.
Right. So you see, I'm trying to make you understand the culture shock that makes us lose the patience that we have always had with one another. Now, you see, when these bills are coming back to back, because apart from the rent, you've got to survive. You have to, maintain certain standards here, whether it's basic or not. You've got to do that. All these things boils down to bills.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes down to bills, that's what money. And when it comes to money, you've got to work your ass out to make that money. And then when you now start having issues with responsibilities, the pressure builds, and then you lose your patience. Like, everybody starts quarreling because there's so much pressure. When there's pressure, you lose patience, because that is the pressure that keeps you going, like managing. But when pressure is too much, patience fizzles out.
Yeah.
And that,
I think
causes a lot of issues. Now, how does this patience of a thing break the marriage? That patience that we've been having, because in Nigeria, one person is the one that is usually doing most, and then the other one is doing lesser. It might be like both of them are working, two women, the partners might be working, but the man is the one that usually carries the most of the bills in Nigeria. But here, everybody has to contribute because of the situation. You understand? I mean, only one person cannot be footing bills every month, because it's a new terrain. We can't adjust immediately. So partners need to support one another here.
Yeah.
Now, you see, when you, the woman who is used to working and owning your money,
Mm.
and then now become your money is my money is your money, and then everybody starts bringing the bill, and then now listen to this aspect. You're bringing money, I'm bringing money.
Mm.
In Nigeria, you are bringing most of the money. I'm not bringing a lot of money.
But a lot of people actually still disagree. Wait,
now.
Nigeria.
We are not yet there. Wait. Now, you are bringing all the money, most of the money in Nigeria. I don't, for example, like as couples, right? The man brings most of the money. Even if the woman is working, the money of that woman is usually her money. She only parts away with whatever she wants to part with in Nigeria.
Yeah.
But here, it's more like 50-50.
Yeah,
you understand? Yeah. Except maybe the woman is pregnant and she cannot work like she's supposed to work. Or in a situation whereby both partners are working, they are going to be contributing 50-50. Now, it will now boil down to, after the man has brought his money and the woman has contributed her quota, everybody contributes 50-50. The man still wants to behave the way he behaves in Nigeria, cross his leg. Madam, cook for me, all this thing. And the woman will be like, hello, you work, I work. We are now on the same platform. If you're hungry, guy, cook because bitch, I'm tired. Do you understand? And then the man will be like, when did all this one start? And then it was never happening like that in Nigeria. Many men forget that time the woman is not bringing in so much money. She uses effort to balance up as her own. She cooks, she takes care of the children and everything. You understand? Now here, both of you are doing it 50-50. So the other responsibilities too should be what? Shared. Yeah. But Nigerian men are not ready to do that.
And that's where the lack of patience actually comes.
And then the woman loses that patience that she has. Okay. Because she has been supportive. She's doing, because if you want to do it, bring most of the money. Yeah. Let me be doing my role. But you go agree. The men will not agree.
So if I want to go through the first point you just raised, I have with patience. Mm-hmm. Okay. So what is this marriage all about? Because I used to think that marriage is all about, unconditional support. Like if a man actually, falls short, even if we're in the UK, we're in Brazil, we're in America, irrespective of whatever happened, because that was the oath we all took, right? As married people, you take these oaths to say, okay, for better, for worse. So I want to understand, how does culture shock or whatever happens as far relocations and staying elsewhere other than Nigeria actually gets to change your own pattern of thinking or going back to conform to the ethics of marriage?
Right.
We're not saying the man should be relaxed. We're not saying the wife should be lax. But we're saying if it gets to that point where the woman feels, okay, this is still your husband, this is still your wife, why is there that? Why do we have to brew impatience because of all of this?
Okay. Now, you see, right from where we're coming, it was more like a man's world in Africa, basically. Yeah. It's usually a man's world. But in the Western world, it's more like 50-50 or a woman's world. Do you understand? Now, that many women are, they get wrongly schooled when they get here. In that aspect. Are you getting it? Especially those that have some aunties that have been here or uncles that have been here a long time ago. They now hear that they are here with their family. Then some aunties get educated. Well, in this place, you have right to all those things that you have been telling me about that guy is, if he does anything here, Pakam, remind him that Ogbeni, this place that we are is not going to, all those things he used to do. Don't try it with me. Are you getting it? It's not right to take that kind of teaching. Yeah, of course, it's okay to be aware of what you're entitled to. It's okay to be aware of the privileges you can get to enjoy as a woman in the new society. But try to take the right ones, the right advice, not the ones that can actually spiral into something you might not be able to handle. Because, many women feel like, because they said that women have rights, blah, 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 blah. And then they start quarreling with their husbands. And then some women deliberately do it. Some women deliberately brew trouble.
Which is understandable because
you understand?
Home,
because
a lot of women just want to try it.
In Nigeria, a lot of women don't brew trouble because they know that nobody will support them. A lot of women keep it on the low because they know that even if the man beats me, my parents will open their door. Do you understand? Some women, their mothers have told them, well, don't come back here. I will not open the door for you. So you better manage, many people, when they have quarreled with their husband 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and they see that their parents are not even encouraging them, to say they want to separate.
Mm.
They stay back there and they just manage themselves. They manage the relationship.
Okay. That's
Do you
fine.
understand?
That's
Now
understandable.
here, knowing that it is glass,
Mm.
you do me, I can do you anyhow. You know, a lot of men feel they have the power. If you, I heard some of the people that relocated 2022 that a woman just shortly after they came in, just had one small problem. The woman said, "Guy, if you do anyhow, I'll just call police for you. All this one that you're doing." I heard the man went to one corner and started crying. Hey, see my life. It's like I have used my money to buy trouble. Do you understand?
Yeah.
To do that, even if you know you've got the rights. I mean, to be honest, there are, of course, sometimes if domestic violence is involved, of course you can check his excesses when you get here.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Okay.
if domestic violence is involved, you can check the excesses of any man here.
Okay.
But when domestic violence is not involved, why are you trying to scatter what you have put your hands together with?
That's another topic. That's another point.
Yeah.
We start going forward. So
right.
I just want to keep our viewers so that they understand what we're saying. So one of the major reasons why we have a lot of marriages crashing in the UK is because one, either women or the men are not patient enough.
Yeah,
because of a lot of things that they go through, which is understandable. Okay, so that's fine. So what else would you think is a reason why a lot of marriages are crashing in the UK?
Vengefulness.
Why? I don't understand. Why would a married couple want to have that attribute of being very vengeful?
Oh my God. Do you know, I really can't talk about the statistics, but many marriages are not based on love. Many marriages from Nigeria, not here. It's not based on love anymore.
Based on love
anymore. Do you understand? The love has been lost. No, you don't get it.
Okay.
I'm talking about marriages from Nigeria.
Okay.
Many people are in that marriage because one, children are involved. Two, they don't have anywhere to go.
So the man see the man as a support.
Yeah. Three, if they leave that man, they will suffer. They know they will suffer. Do you understand? Another point, if they leave that lifestyle, they cannot sustain it as an individual. Do you understand?
So that was back home, and now that they're in the UK, it's like
now coming here, the situation usually changes. Why? Number one, most men who have that money in Nigeria used like 80% of that money to fund the migration. Do you understand? Now getting here, that man doesn't really have much because he has used a lot of, like, the chunk of what he has to move the family down here. Now getting here, the woman knows that she's going to a new society. She has heard information that in UK, in abroad, in Europe, in America, women have a lot of rights, and then some people even get funds to move out of a violent marriage, to move out of domestic violence. Banks do it. So many organizations, they have that money. They will give you on the spot. You understand? And there are even things people can do that the government will just, absorb them in, especially when it comes to domestic violence. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So that a woman that has been managing different slabs, all because she wants to keep luxury lifestyle, gets here,
and she's liberated.
And mentally, she already knows that this country is my getaway. Do you understand? That's vengefulness. She already has it in her mind. It's programmed there. She's just waiting for the right time. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That's one. Two, some will not even want to scatter the marriage. They just want to come here and hand the man into police custody. The man should just make a mistake to scatter. The next thing, you just hear they call police. They will not even call the police in front of the man. She can just say she's going to work and you just go somewhere and then she come back. Police will follow her. She has it planned.
So why
do you
not
understand?
divorce? If you actually have harbored such thoughts, or you've actually been going all of this, why not get a divorce when you get to the UK? Why try to subject the man to go through all of these things? Is it part of the vengeance?
See, going through divorce is expensive. You don't get? It's expensive. You pay lawyer. You do a lot of things legally. But when you base your separation on domestic violence, the society grabs
They
you
just come
straight.
and take the
They
man.
come and deliver you. It's like a deliverance session. And the man, they just bundle him, and the man does not even know where he's going. Some men get deported.
Yeah.
We heard about the situation of the woman that framed her husband.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, the man got back at her, and that was a messy thing. And then some, they don't even have it from Nigeria. They've forgiven the man for all the misdeeds from Nigeria. But getting here, when they hear that, they have
There's this cover that
they have the opportunity to explore some benefits from this thing, they just trigger the man to go and eat his vomit and start all over in order to just unleash that thing.
This is really surprising to me.
Do you understand?
The whole cloud of love, and all of that is not really making a lot of sense to me, because people go wrong. It actually depends on how far a man can go wrong for a woman to want to go through all of these things to hurt the man. So it's really confusing that women, you've said some things about being very patient, but I also think that marriage should get to a point where people can understand themselves and resolve some of their differences. So this should be like a very strong point that women are just very tired of some of these excesses.
Yep.
And also, because we're putting this blame on women alone, we want to also understand that men are also tired of some of these excesses, and they just get to a point where they are broken and they just want to unleash. But do you think women initiate more of this breakup than men do?
Well, it's vice versa, to be honest. Now, see, I've been talking about women because I'm a woman, and I can actually understand a lot of things women do, but there are also things that men do. For example, when there are situations in the house and the man sees that he has an opportunity to just impregnate a white woman, men bail out on their families. Men do it.
It's not so common. Is it common?
It is. It's common. Men bail out on their families here as well. That's vengeance. I mean, just wanted to satisfy, I'm doing it because of the children. I'm not doing it because of you. I'm just doing it because if we all come here together, you can stay with the children while I take off. Do you understand? I take off and I enjoy my life with another woman. And the woman said, will give me paper. Oh my God. Usually, when the separation happens, the women are usually the ones that are receiving it, because when they have children, they're the ones that will stay with the children.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And is it easy to be a single mom in this place where you be paying rent? The society might save you just for 2 months, and the remaining they will just free you.
Okay.
Do you understand? You can't have a free house, especially when you're just coming. Are you okay? Who will give you free house? You are not entitled to benefits. Do you understand?
Yeah. You're
not entitled to benefits. So, as a migrant who is still under maybe student visa, you never see anything. Your decision is just starting to unleash in your face, because all that separation, all that support is just going to happen for a short while, but they'll never support you forever.
Yeah.
You've got to get back on your feet. They'll tell you, if you're in debt, they'll tell you to go to independent debt advisors and all of that, and you are going to shoulder everything. Now, a man that you use police to arrest, do you think he wants to give you money to take care of the children? He'll tell you, eat them now. Shebi, you are doing society that supports me. The worst that can happen, you will sue me. When you sue me, we will drag it for some months. Those months, that period, you still suffer. Only the time the court is going to force me to start paying, and it's going to be after the case.
If I actually want to go to a third point, I really appreciate everything you've said. It actually makes sense to me now. So if I want to say the third point, would you want to say that cheating in marriages in the UK is one of the major contributing factors why marriages actually break? Do you think that's one of the reasons?
No.
Why?
Guess what? Cheating is expensive. Cheating is expensive. You're a man, you can tell. Is it a lie?
I wouldn't know.
No, now, because to even maintain a family here is expensive. Now you want to have a side chick. Won't you spend on side chick?
So the mentality of the girls here in the UK probably may not be like the mentality.
It may not be, but no matter what, that babe might be in need of just sex and all that. But one day you need to foot bills now. You hang out.
Yeah,
you want her to pay.
Because a lot of people will tell you that the ladies in the UK are very, they have something to do. They are supported. They have a lot of cover. You hardly get to see females in the UK that don't have jobs, they don't have anything to do. But back home, we have a lot of girls that are just there. So it's easy to actually flaunt whatever you have and the girls just follow. But in the UK, it's very, very hard. And that's why I understand that sex is very hard in the UK and very expensive. But do you think Nigerian women in the UK, African women in the UK, have their marriages broken as a result of some of these cheating stuff?
Like I said, cheating is expensive. Cheating is not usually like the reason. Because most men might want to hang out, might want to try stuff, but to an extent, I'm sure like how am I going to put this? Most men, they want to hang out, they want to have fun.
Yeah.
But they are not ready to part with what they have to give another side to give another babe. Because except they're getting it for free. Are you getting it? Now, the babe that needs this thing, do you understand? She wants someone to touch her to, companionship and all that. Except she wants to give it for free. If she wishes to, that's fine. You understand? But the man will tell her, no commitment. Because talking about commitment is when you start collecting money from man. Yeah. Do you understand? Because I've got a family too that I'm funding. So, now, if you get involved as a man, if you get involved in cheating and you are getting engrossed in it, you know that you are incurring extra bills. So,
which is not what any man wants in the UK.
Are you getting it? So it's usually not the reason why homes are breaking. The reason why homes are breaking is usually on a personal level. Lack of patience. The man does not want to fill in the gap for the woman, but the woman is filling in the financial gap for the man, and the woman is tired of that. Now, that's not being patient, not being understanding with one another.
Yeah.
Now we are doing bills 50-50. So why can't we cook 50-50? Why can't we take care of the children 50-50?
Yeah.
You are not saying I'm the man of the house.
Yeah.
Me too, I'm the woman of the house, but I am supporting you with money. Why can't you support me as well with the other things that I used to do when you were, when you were doing the main thing? We need to be realistic with one another. But our men, because to be honest, I can't blame them. But men need to learn.
Yeah.
Women are fast learners. We adapt very quickly.
I think one of the things I'll actually say there will be men need to readjust. Because if you say men are coming with that mentality of being the breadwinners, with that kind of a cloud of being very egoistic and being very manly, in the UK, you need to readjust. You understand? Men need to readjust in the UK so that they can actually make this thing work. You understand? So I think that's a point I will actually take very strongly, because if we used to live like that back home, and now in the UK, you need to share a lot of things. So if you're sharing bills, you have kids in the house, why can't you help your wife to cook? Why can't you help your wife to clean the house? Why can't you help your wife to manage the kids? And we also understand that it's not both parties going out at the same time to work. You see, either the man has gone out in the morning and the wife is going out in the evening, or the wife is going out in the evening and the man is going out. So we actually have to balance that. So a lot of marriages in the UK will have balance. If husband and wife can sit the way we are sitting like this, and they talk out their problems, plan together, and know how to just calm down. The ego thing is too much. I think it's actually too much for a lot of men. And me, where I have this problem with is women are not known for having those kind of, those unnecessary outbursts of being very, trying to be controlling and all that. You've said a lot about patience. You've said a lot about vengeance. And also, we've talked about it's not necessarily anything to do with cheating. But why are women? Because I have friends that I speak with, and most of my friends will tell me that women in the UK are too privileged to a point where they just feel they can do without the men. So they initiate some of these things, even when the man is not a problem at that time. They want to make the man feel, now we are in the UK. I have rights to. I can tell you whatever I want to tell you, and I will still get away with it. And if you want to misbehave, I still have, my job to actually, give me that cover and all that. So I don't know where the mentality is coming from. You've actually made a lot of points, but what would you say is one of the most breaking points that because people have a lot of marriages are crashing. People watching us from home now want to wonder, and some of these things are normal things, but why do we have this, this rapid crashes in a lot of marriages we have in the UK?
So I'm still going to dwell on patience. When you lose patience, anything can happen.
And there's no way you can actually just
like you don't care. Let everything just scatter. Say that is what you hear. Let everybody go on their own. Oh yeah, just go, just get out. Because you've lost patience.
Yeah.
No more tolerance, nothing. You don't care anymore. Because you're tired.
And also, I think there's this mental attack that we have in the UK. Some of the jobs are very stressful. The men are tired, the women are tired. So any small provocation or any small, thing something that just comes that doesn't make sense, the woman loses it. The man actually gets to that point where he just, coupled with the fact that he already has some of these things back home, he just unleashes the dragon.
Yes, and that's what we're talking about, pressure. When pressure is too much, you are stressed. Work will stress you. Children will stress you. Bills will stress you. These are pressure coming from different angles. Do you understand? Now your partner will not add his own. You will cut the first, the nearest one is what you cut.
Let me tell you something that a lot of people have actually been. I know a lot of people have just been wanting me to ask this. See, one point also that I know a lot of marriages are breaking in the UK is we've talked about sex is expensive. A lot of men are not cheating in the UK. I used to hear or I heard some women discussing last month, I think, when they were saying that can you imagine? We don't used to have all those kind of useless diseases like in our houses when we're back home in Nigeria. Women used to take pills because their husbands are always just going up and down and just doing whatever they want to do. So they just come and just pour whatever and give them whatever sickness and all that. In the UK, they don't buy all those pills again. It's like they feel much better and they don't have any of those. I really don't know how to put it so it doesn't sound very, very well. But what I'm trying to say is men are not actually into that in the UK that in that very rapid fashion. But a lot of people will want to say that men are not getting the needed sex.
Yeah.
Why is that so? Because I understand people are very tired. The man is tired, the woman is tired, but can't there be a balance where a man and his wife can actually enjoy themselves just to relieve the tension in it? Because this is very necessary, very, very necessary.
Oh my God! To be honest, this is a very, very serious point, and
men are not having enough sex.
It's just funny, but we must be sincere. You're very right. You're very correct. And men, no matter how much a man works, he will still want to, have sex with his wife. But when a woman is tired, she doesn't want anything. She shuts down. All she wants is just to rest, to sleep.
And the UK is very stressful, so she wants to rest.
Imagine a woman who was not working like a donkey from Nigeria. All of a sudden, she starts working. Every day, like 6 days in a week, she's working 12 hours, and only one day. She only has 1 day off. And you think she will be able to meet up? Imagine if you were the woman who used to live soft life. In Nigeria, a lot of more women are into businesses, so they're not stressed. So anyhow, they will still have that. They still have enough energy to feed bros very, very well in bed. But yeah, you would have pushed wheelbarrow, push everything, back pain, body pains, everything. Now somebody now start tapping.
Now the man too is tired, the woman too is tired, but can't there be a balance?
Why
must it be that the women are always on the
See, men are built for, how will I put it? Men have that energy. Do you understand? Their bodies are stronger. That the work a man is doing, now a woman should be doing it for 12 hours every day for 6 weeks. And that is something the woman has not been doing before. Adaptability is very, very important. If it's something that you've been doing before, it won't be new to you. But something you've not been doing before, you just have to do it all of a sudden, and you must be dedicated. You'll be knackered. If women used to have this thing, if a woman used to have penis, it won't rise. Do you understand? Yeah. Because for women, sex is mental. Do you understand? Yeah. I must be ready mentally. I must be ready with my body. I must be ready with everything in order to enjoy it. Now, let me now tell you something. These men that are complaining that they're not having sex, that the women are not giving them.
Yeah.
Go and find out. The woman is giving them, but they're not enjoying it. That's the problem.
Because the woman is not as relaxed.
Because
as she
yes.
used to be back when
Now, when you don't enjoy sex, you will not see it as anything. You won't believe you even had it. Are you getting the point? Let's be honest. Find out very well. Those men that my wife is not, ask them. She know they give you a Tony, or you don't like what you are getting.
The way she gives you.
You know, the way she used to do, wine, you know, everything. Now she does like, okay, just come and go and let everybody just see.
Oh
Are you
God,
getting it?
yeah.
This is serious. But to be honest, that must be the situation, because I know that it's not possible for those women not to be giving them.
Yeah.
I'm sure. But what the men are really complaining about is the pressure they're not getting. The vibe they used to get is nowhere to be found now, because the woman is stressed. And you cannot blame the woman. I mean, she's working for the family the way you two you're working, but your own body is not paying you, because you have the energy. Me like this. my husband knows that it's 1 blow 7 times. When I work, when I overuse myself for 1 day, 3 days I'm useless. Now imagine when I'm not doing 12 hours for 6 days. Just know that 1 month you are living with a ghost. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So this thing, a lot of women are not happy about it. I must tell you. Because this thing we call, you know, companionship and sex in marriage is both ways. But now imagine when something you like doing, you can't even do it.
Yeah, because of a lot of things.
Because of what is happening around you. Do you think it's fun? It's not fun. But the woman might not talk about it. She might not talk about it because women don't usually talk about it. Women don't usually, it's men that talk about it.
Yeah.
Women don't usually talk about it. Things like that, women stomach it. They just, let them just move on. Do you understand? It is men that talk about it. But because the woman is not talking about it, does not mean she's not concerned. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
There was a time in my marriage, do you understand, that when I was in my childbearing age, I was less active. I was less active because after I put to bed, I'm always having one tear or the other. And you see those tears, they never healed within 6 months. So it is by fire by thunder that my husband moves close to me. Most of the time, I'm like, Benny, just stay away. Because my bum is still paining me. He never done. Because all my children are natural birth. Do you understand? That's the difference between natural birth and CS. People who have CS, once their body is healed, this place is still intact. But people who born like this, when they tear their bum, when they say they don't carry needle and chest swam. Hey, Jesus. Then I need to tell you this one. Now suffering for another, only God knows when, depending on your body. Yeah. If your body is one that doesn't heal on time, God, you are in for it. Some people, even while their body is healing, they get infection because of the openings. Do you understand? And it happens a lot. But these are things that women go through alone. Men don't care.
And you think that's also part of the thing that actually contribute to you?
No. I'm just trying to tell you the pains that women absorb that men are not aware about. Do you understand? Now, I was talking about my family when I was having children, what I went through. Do you understand? That period. It's not like I wasn't feeling like I wanted to have sex. But I've got an injury right here. So I must respect myself. So I won't bother to ask for it. Do you understand? It's only when my husband asks for it that I say, okay, go manager. Do you understand? Yeah. I don't, because I want it to heal. You understand? So at some point in my marriage, you know, we had a kind of disagreement. And my husband actually like reported me to someone. And I just busted at her. Can you imagine? It's only God that has given me children in this marriage. I told that person, if we are going to base children, childbearing, the number of times that somebody is having sex in marriage, maybe I'll not have one. My husband never expected me to bust out on that. That man had to come out. Guy, you don't fuck up. Do you get?
Yeah.
And you know, because I never talked about it, my husband thought I was fine. Do you understand? So I'm going to tell you things that women don't talk about, but they're not happy about it. Now, being here, working my ass out because I'm trying to support my family, because maybe I am the main applicant, especially the one that is working in care. Yeah. And then she's the carrier of the COS. Yeah. They're not going to make you no go work. Do you understand? Yeah. Now, that is so much sacrifice. Men need to understand. And they need to value it. and probably sometimes call their wives to talk about it. Like, how are you feeling? I know you're working. You understand? Men are not supposed to complain too much about not having sex, but they should try to create a kind of meeting point. Strike a balance. Babe, how far? How is it going? Because this is our sex life. It's not like they should complain. Some men feel like, because of the kind of culture background we're coming from, some men feel it's just okay to just, talk in certain ways, which is not helpful for the marriage. Now, a woman that is suffering inside because she's working and working, she's not enjoying sex, but she's not talking about it. She's working her ass out because she has signed a contract to, meet up with certain hours because she's, she has an agreement with the company. Now, that woman, she's definitely not, and then because of that commitment she has made, she's going to, her lifestyle is reduced somehow, because, and her body is suffering for it as well. You understand? But because she's not talking about certain things, does not mean she's fine. Now, the partner, if it is even the man that actually took the contract as well, it will tell on him too. Men in that situation, go and find out their families are okay because it's just cruise for them. Are you getting it? It's cruise for them. They don't get stressed like the women in that situation. Go and ask. Let's do our research. Maybe we'll do it as a homework. Because that's the situation generally. Now, these women who work 12 hours, 10 hours, some women do 60 hours. Some women do beyond 60 hours in a week. Unconsciously. Are you getting it? Unconsciously, they do more than 60 hours. Those people that do domiciliary, some will go from morning till night. And they'll only count maybe 8 hours for them at the end of the day. But look at the time they spend on the road, the time they spend on this and that. It's never counted. But they're working.
All of these things can actually accumulate.
Yeah.
And cause a lot of problems in marriage.
Yes. It's pressure. It is stress. Stress for a woman that is stressed can never be okay in bed. A woman that is stressed. Sex for men is something like, it's mental, but it's not as mental for women. And for women, it is more emotional as well. Men just want to satisfy their urge. You understand? But women, it's not just about urge alone. It's about, that's why you see women after this, they just want to cut it. You understand? It's not just some men after they do it, when they don't, they just want to sleep. They don't care. You understand? So you see, it's a different. There are two different things. You understand? So that's just the situation. So I just feel a lot of partners. See, I like the word partner here. So people are like, no, it's husband and wife. I'm like, see, you guys are not getting the point behind this word. When we're talking partnership is about two people aiming at a goal together. Do you understand? Marriage, from where we're coming from, is one like this and one like this.
The man is always leading with,
anyhow,
the goals of the family. And the man shoot for it.
Yeah, but here, they call it partnership. And that's the situation most families have found themselves. Here. Yes, you want to retain that husband and wife. Nobody is trying to remove you as the husband. I mean, when the women start growing this thing and they want to collect.
Because a lot of things are happening in the UK, and that's why people are confused. Because I'm not trying to attribute some of these problems to men. And also, I'm not just trying to put a whole chunk of these problems.
Yeah.
But there's a problem somewhere.
Sure.
So we want to know. And if you get to hear a lot of people talk about what's happening in marriages, people are always pointing fingers to women calling the police, women asking the man to leave, women getting angry unnecessarily, women not giving the man sex. A lot of things are pointed towards the woman in the UK and also back home, And the men, what is a man doing in the UK that you don't like right now? The man is working. The man is supporting with bills. The man may not be giving you too much problem as per being, too stubborn and all that. Because I know a lot of families would want to have peace. I know a lot of families. But why are we getting to hear this proliferation of a lot of problems coming? And sometimes we get to understand that it's coming from the female side of the marriage circle. That's my view though, because a lot of people just say, okay, it's my wife that's giving me problem. Why is my wife being stubborn unnecessarily? Why is she not giving me sex and all of that? And that's why we want to make this thing clear. I know, madam, probably if you want to advise now, we've heard the problems. Men, let's have patience. In the UK, we know it's hard, but patience is key. And that vengeance thing is something that I want people to think it over. She has actually explained a lot. And what was the other thing we talked about again? The sex, lack of sex, the stress, bills and all of that. These are things that families can balance. But a lot of marriages are still crashing. I know some of you have other reasons to why marriages are crashing. You can just go in the comment section and just express yourself there and let us know why you think some marriages are crashing in the UK outside some of these points that we've just mentioned today. But madam, if you want to advise, what would now be the advice? I know you've talked about let's be patient, and all of those things that you've said. But how do we try to send a message out to people watching so that we can have less of some of these things that we get to hear about crashing of marriages in the UK?
Right. So, like you said, these things come from the women. You see, for me, I don't really like it when people point accusing fingers. It's very important for us to learn to own blames. But our society is used to blaming women, which is wrong. I mean, women are usually the bedrock of homes. Men, when a man starts a fight, he wants the family to break right immediately while he's talking. Most men. Yeah. Let's be honest. Is it a lie?
So you're making a very good point.
But the blame is usually placed on the women. Why? Because our society is used to blaming women.
Do you know why people in the UK, because let's not derail from what was said. People in the UK are saying that the women are the ones that call for police. The women are the ones that take the men's bags and throw outside. The women are the ones that's what happens. That's what we get to hear. The women will actually tell the man to leave the house. These are the things we get to hear. The man will not come to the house and say, "Madam, leave my house," because the man cannot do that. The man will not call police for the wife. We know the men cannot do that. So we're talking about in the UK. We're not talking about Nigeria. We're not talking about Africa. In the UK, the women initiate more of some of these, marriage breakups and all that. The women initiate that more. So we just want to understand that.
Right. I want everybody to stop the blame game. The moment you
Which is not right though, yeah.
The moment everybody learn, people don't like being responsible for blames, which is wrong. When you sit couples down and you hear from both parties, you'll be shocked what you're going to hear about so many people. That so-called my guy that you know, if you sit him down, sit his wife down, and they start talking, you go look your guy, guy. Do you understand? To be honest, see, it's very important for partners to learn to own blames. Partners are used to, couples are used to pointing accusing fingers, which is wrong. Now, the women call the police because they feel like that's the only way they can be safe, because the men have always had their way. Are you getting it? That's why many women call the police first. Do you understand? And let's be honest, many women don't like calling the police. They only do that when they see like, at this point, let me just find my, because I'm tired. A woman who is not tired will never call police. Let's be honest. A woman who is not tired will not call police. Find out the root cause of that thing. That man must have lynched her life. Except if the woman is being stupid. Do you understand my point? No woman really wants her home to scatter. From where we're coming from and what we know, who we are. Do you understand my point?
Yeah.
No real woman wants her home to break. But when the situation gets to a point and the woman feels like, at this point, I don't care anymore. Whatever wants to happen should happen. That's when it goes that bad. And then people start shouting because it's the woman that initiated. But what did the man do? Where has he driven her to? I mean, there is no smoke without fire.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And one of the major problems like this is because communication is so poor in marriages. People don't talk. They only burst out of anger because they have been bottling so many things inside. Instead of talking about it, instead of airing. See, sometimes when I can't say something to my husband face to face, I send it to him as a message on his phone. Because I don't want to talk about it. I mean, I don't have the energy to face him to talk about it. Because maybe I know that I might end up in a fight. So I just send it to him because I don't want an argument to start. You understand? I will send it as a message. And when he reads it he has gotten the message. Okay. Are you getting the point? To be honest, the same way too. We can also express our emotions.
Yeah.
If you can't say it, Send it as a message. But the problem we're having now is because if you send some messages now, they'll screenshot it and send it to the wrong person. Do you understand? Which is one of the challenges as well. This is why a lot of people have, a lot of reservations. And see, communication is so important. Like what I was saying now, when a woman is under so much stress and she cannot say, she can't be of good use to her husband in bed, they don't talk about it. But the man goes out to complain. Have you talked about it at home? Have you discussed this matter? Many men have not discussed it, and they will not discuss it in the next 10 years. Because they don't have that mind. They don't think it is right to discuss it, which is a very, very bad thing that we have learned from where we are coming from as individuals. Communication is one problem in marriage, in the African marriage generally.
Yeah.
Partners don't discuss because the men want to be like, I'm the other day, whatever I say is final. So the woman will be looking, oh yeah, continue driving us. Well, anyway, you want to drive us, even if we are going to the gutter, I am with you. You understand? Because the man is saying the woman is not giving him sex the way he desires. He is not going to discuss it. He'll go on for a side chick outside. That's what usually happens back home. Instead of you talking, how do we go? Mommy, talk mommy, this thing, or babe, or sweetheart, or some people don't call themselves babe. They don't call, you understand? Some people call them mommy something, daddy something. Yeah. Talk about it, whatever you call yourselves. If you are, even if you are not tush as a family, or you are tush, or you are rich, or you are poor, communication is a broad line that must ensue in every relationship, in every marriage, in every home. So you must talk about whatever odds you feel is happening, but we don't. Now, when there's no communication, please, how are we going to know what is inside one another? We won't. We'll just be harboring negativity. We'll be harboring anger. We'll be bottling up pressure. And then when everything is now at the brink, it will burst and turn to young pepper scatter. And then they'll not say, somebody did this one. When family member did not know when the fight has been brewing. Some fights has been since the wedding night. And they have not resolved, and the marriage is still 20 years now. Can you imagine? Yeah. And they never talked about it. Because communication is poor. Are you getting it? These things. And then unfortunately, the thing two people are supposed to sit down to talk about. One partner that's supposed to sit down, the other partner will not carry that talk to beer parlor to be discussing.
Do you think the men in the UK actually have time to be going around beer parlor? Because I think
some don't go to beer parlor. Some will spend 10 hours on the phone.
Talking
about it. Talking about what they are going through. Talking about what is not supposed to be spoken about. Instead of you to discuss it with your partner. Some will call their family and start reporting. The people that are not supposed to tell things they're going through, who will not add any value. They are not here with you. They don't know what is happening. They don't know the kind of society you are in. Do you understand? They've never been here before. They've never even, they don't know the kind of situation. And they'll start saying things about your wife that is supportive, that is giving her best. You did not tell them that she's supportive, oh. You're only telling them the one that is going to favor you. Who is not going to be angry when they hear about that? Bro, let's be honest.
Yeah, it actually made a lot of sense. Madam, I would have really loved us to continue this discussion. It really, really made my day. And I know a lot of our viewers have actually had a very, very wonderful time listening to you go through some of these points. And I think we're very grateful. We here at EpicTubeMoments, this is actually a lovely session. We've learned a lot from Mrs. OMOLARA, one of our biggest compare here in the UK. And I hope we all enjoyed some of the things you've said here. So if you love what we're doing here on EpicTube, we would actually want you to subscribe and also leave a comment. We want you to just like the video. If you want to help us, you can also share this so that a lot of people here in the UK will have to watch this and understand what's happening. Marriages are breaking up every day, left, right, center. And the points she has just made are just some of the points that we know some of these marriages actually go through before they get to that point where they are broken. And we want to really appreciate you. We want to thank you for coming. And some of my subscribers are just looking at you and saying, "How is this woman? She's happy explaining. And we're happy to have you here. So this is EpicTube family. We are going to continue this next week when we come up with our new video, and the topic is going to be very, very excellent. So we want you to just encourage us by following us, subscribing, leaving a comment, and sharing the video you've seen here today. this is going to be awesome going forward. Madam, thank you for coming. Is there anything you want to tell to our viewers?
Well, thank you so much for having me. Well, one thing I'll just tell couples, is just that one, love is not enough. Love is not enough. That love,
Especially
when
in the UK.
when it goes through the fire,
Especially in the
it
UK.
usually fails the test. Love is not
Love
enough.
is not enough, especially in the UK.
Let's just keep being positive. When the situation goes so bad and we're about to lose our patience, let's think of the good times we have spent together, because it usually helps. When you think of the good times you spent together with your partner, when things were not as bad as this guy is not really a bad person. This lady is not really a bad person. She's really been good to me. He has been really supportive as well. I mean, can I just, look at that? And then if you're not looking at that, look at the beautiful creatures that you have made together and insist that this thing will work. See it as a phase. It's not going to be forever. Nothing lasts forever. No situation is permanent. So always believe that things will get better and look on the bright side. Yeah, it's not usually easy, especially when it's when one is new here. It's never easy. To be honest, it's never easy. But you just got to look on the bright side, and just keep that vibe going. To be honest, love is not enough. That is shaky. The cold will catch it. When winter wind blows that love,
the love will disappear.
the love will start shaking. But with the help of tolerance, patience, and staying positive about the situation, this is going to pass. It's going to pass just for a short while. It will boost that love. It will help that love stay stronger. Let's just be, because we can't do it alone. If we want to separate from our partners because we just want to be selfish, because we are angry, because you lose your patience and you separate with your partner, you can't do it alone. To be honest, the government, no matter what you get from the government, it's never enough. So you need that partner. That one will chase 1,000, but two will chase 10,000. 10,000 is far more than 1,000. There's no kind of energy you have that two, you can pass the power of two. So we really need to keep it going. We really need to keep it going. And as a Christian, I would pray that we don't lose it, because it's so easy to lose it right here. It's so easy to lose it, and we just need to be patient. We need to be patient. As someone who handles, weddings, traditional weddings, I usually pray for couples, and I should tell them, your home will not scatter. And when I got here, I started thinking about the different marriages that I have hosted. Yeah, the different homes I have laid as a traditional wedding compare, and I'm like, God, I can imagine those couples going through situations here, and I can't imagine hearing that those marriages are broken. Because seeing what is happening here, and sometimes I just pray for them in my own way, like, God, please, because it's usually heartbreaking when you hear some marriages are broken, especially when you know them, when you see them when they were good together, and then suddenly you just hear everything as just, it's heartbreaking, it's discouraging, especially, some people even feel like, oh, their home is better than mine. But, and I know that we all need to just keep that positive spirit going, and we need to keep trusting that everything will be fine. And to be honest, when you look back, if you're patient and you're able to pull through that period, when you look back, you just be grateful. So,
Madam, thank you so much. I would have loved you to just continue talking, because our viewers are just there enjoying everything you're just saying. And we're very grateful to have you. So we are the ETMers. This is EpicTubeMoments, and we are very, very happy to have had this session. This is very, very entertaining and very, very helpful. So viewers at home, you've heard it all. Husbands, wives, please let us come together. In the UK, you're in the US, you're in Canada. Please learn to how's the word? Is it coexist?
Yeah.
Learn to balance this situation so that we can actually have lesser homes breaking up. And it's actually very good thing. We get to hear that every day. And coupled with the fact that men and women are calling, you get to just hear it on the streets everywhere in the UK. It's not something we actually support. It's not anything that we stand for here at EpicTubeMoments. And we are very happy to have had this session. And we'll call it a day, and you'll hear from us next week. We're going to have a wonderful video next week also. So, bye from me, friend. Bye.